Well, thank you for coming, everybody. It's a beautiful night in Michigan, so you just being here. How many people are loving the gas prices being well over $4 a gallon? Woo-hoo. Thank you, Isaac. Isn't that wonderful?
Hey, go down to Toledo, 50 cents difference.
Is it really? I always wondered why the interstate, you go through Ohio.
Lower.
Actually, it's because they have the term.
You don't think that you would say, let's go down to Toledo and spend 50 cents more a gallon so we could... No, I don't think so. Anyway, and that brings me actually to an interesting point. I'm going to be talking actually about a book, and I'm going to highly promote this book. This book, I purposely bought this older copy because I've read this book a number of times. Has anybody ever heard of How to Have Confidence and Power and Deal with People by Les Giblin? Okay, one person, maybe two. Okay, this book was written in 1956, wow. And principles never change, but practices always do. And so these are actually timeless principles. And as I was starting to read this, actually I'm mentored by one of the top leadership teachers in the world, and he said that basically you can't read the top 5 books that he recommends enough in a year's time. And as I was reading this, I wondered how many of these principles am I actually betraying or not adhering to in my life, and I was terribly surprised on how many I was. But let me ask you this. Can anybody tell me why it is that 9 out of 10 businesses will fail in the first 5 years? And then of those, 1 or 2 that pass the muster in the next 5 to 10 years, those go out of business? Does anybody know? Yes? Competition. And what?
Marketing.
Lack of planning.
Lack of planning.
Lack of funding.
Lack of funding.
Lack of vision.
Lack of vision.
Lack of lacking.
Lack of lacking. Yes. And that's good. And here's the thing. Robert Kiyosaki, he's a world-renowned author. He's a success teacher. He's written a number of. Here's one of his claims to fame: number 1, number 2, number 3 best-selling books on the New York Times bestseller list at the same time. Donald Trump chose him to write a book with him because he's such a successful author. Not because his books are so successful, but they actually work. The principles. He shows working class people like us how to become wealthy. And here's what he said. The main reason businesses go under is because of lack of leadership. Lack of leadership. So what is leadership? Leadership is really just influence. Now, here's another statistic that I found out. Do you know that the vast majority of people that get let go or fired from a job are very rarely let go or fired from their job because they don't know how to do their work? What do you think the main reason they get let go or they're fired or asked to leave is?
Inability to relate to other people at work.
Exactly. It's people skills. And think about this. All the things that we're doing. We have Local Business Network here. We have Get Phone to Google here. We have Life here. We have all these different companies that are trying to help business owners become more successful in the business place. But very rarely are we ever in the need of telling you how to do better catering, to be a better business coach, to be a better CPA, a better lawyer, a better pilot or voiceover. I mean, I've met so many cool people here tonight. They're doing all these wonderful things, but it's never about what you're doing in your profession that very rarely keeps you from moving forward. It's those soft people skills. And this book, How to Have Power and Confidence to Deal with People, has so many incredible principles that I hope that you'd buy it. I actually have some books in the back there. I'll sell them to you for what I got them for. But I highly recommend this book because it will literally change your life. Not just in your business life, but in your interpersonal skills with your spouse and your family and your friends. But he goes over 3 things that he recommends we do. Accept, approve, and appreciate. If you're writing any things down, I would recommend that you write those things down because here's what he said. It's not natural to do this. Getting along with other people is not natural. If it was, we wouldn't have to work at it. So one of the things is accept people. Accept people just as they are. Well, why? If we broke that down to the real core element of what we want other people to do for us, don't we want them to just like us for who we are? I mean, isn't it kind of a drag every morning to have to think about what we're going to dress like? And I wonder, is this going to be acceptable? Is this going to be good enough? I wonder what other people are going to be wearing. How do I need to act? Do I need to say a certain something? What do I need to do? And then, why do we hang out with our friends? You know, why do we come to places like Spirit's Restaurant after work? So we can loosen our tie, so we can sit down, have a beverage of our choice, we can relax and be ourselves. But the very thing that we want from others, we very rarely do for other people. And so what Les Giblin says is to try to find something you like. Now think about this, a biblical principle is God is love, you know, and you know, we're commanded by God to love everybody. And I used to go, well, he never commanded me to like anybody, so I'm not breaking any commandments on that one. But Les Giblin said basically that is a major commandment that you want to try to do. Now here's the thing, you don't have to be their best friend, you don't have to hang out with them, you don't have to like everything about them, but is there something you can find that you like about that person? If you do, you're going to have power with them. You're going to have influence with them. They're going to relate to you better, and they're going to want to do business with you. So when you meet somebody, try to find something you can like about them. Because the very thing that we want from other people, we need to extend to others. And this is not natural. We're fault finders by nature. It's really easy to find fault, isn't it? I mean, if I say something like this, what's the first word that comes to you when I say oil companies? Okay, how about this? Politicians.
Crooks.
Full of.
Okay, and then let's say, I don't know, used car salespeople.
Shysters.
See how easy it is now. Now let's just do this. And I want to take just a minute because I want to prove a point here, and it's really good that we know these people all so well, and we can group them all together and put them in one pile. Okay, oil companies. What's one good thing that we could say about oil companies?
Exploration.
Create a lot of jobs and pay a lot of taxes.
Okay, good. All right. How about politicians? Any good we can find about politicians? Maybe.
Not very.
Especially during just right now with all the ads, we don't know who's bad. Everybody's bad. It's like, oh my gosh. And I know one thing: when you sling mud, you get dirty too. But what can we think about? Is there anything we can say about politicians that's nice? It's not so easy, is it? So it's very easy to be very critical and fault finding, but we have to find something about people that we interact with so we can have power and confidence in dealing with them. The other thing is to approve something in them. That means that you find something that you agree with. You know, what happens if you're interacting with somebody from a different subculture? You don't appreciate. They have piercings everywhere. They have a purple mohawk, 7 feet tall, and you know what? And you need for them to buy your product or service, or you need for them to to interact with you in some way. What can you find out? I mean, that is a lovely shade of lavender. Is it mauve or lavender? I don't know, but that would look nice with my couch. I don't know, but
Natural.
it's natural. Is that natural, or is that one of those clip-ons? I don't know. Do they have clip-on mohawks? I should probably look into that. I find that the more hair I'm losing, the more I have to comb it. That's a really strange thing. But anyway, you want to find things that people that you approve of, that you like about them. And then this last one is appreciation. Now, what is the opposite of appreciation? Depreciation. Something going down in value. So you know that a lot of times you hear if you drive a car off the car lot brand new, it's going to depreciate in value. As soon as you drive it off the lot, you might have paid $20,000 or $30,000 for it, and now it's only worth about 10 or 15 because it depreciated. Appreciation is adding value. And so if you want to have power and confidence in dealing with people, what you want to do is you want to find something sincere. Now I'm going to tell you something. These can be techniques, and they can be fake and contrived, and people will sniff you out and they won't want to do business with you. So I'm talking about sincerity here. I mean, one of the things that hit me about this book is that Les Giblin was sincerely trying to provide us with information to have power and confidence in dealing with people, and mainly so they would like us, and we can find things about them that we like too. And then once you get that commonality, your business is going to explode. We don't need to tell you how to, to provide more supplemental insurance or better legal practices or any of the things of the people that I've met in this room. Even Chef, we don't have to tell him, how to run a successful bar. But when he interacts with the community, he's got to have some skills, and hopefully they're sincere. So appreciation means when they leave you, do they feel better about themselves? Have you added value to them? Do you see how this might not be necessarily natural? And then I'm going to leave you one thing about this book that I thought that how many people would like to know, and I want to find this exact title of this person. A Supreme Court justice in the 1950s called this like magic. What do you think in the 1950s, when this book was written, that would be magic when it comes to having power and confidence in dealing with people? I'll give you a hint.
Smile and eye contact. Listening.
Listen. Do you know that you will be the most clever conversationalist in the world if you will just be quiet and listen to the other person? Better yet, rather than being quiet, drawing them out on several points. What did you mean by that? Could you tell me more about this? Hey, I'd like to know a little bit more about, tell me, really? Oh, really? Why is this? Here's one. Oh, really? Why is that? You could break that one down in so many different ways. You could, oh, really? Why is that? Now, here's the thing. If you do this too many times to somebody, they're going to be laying down on a couch and you're going to be counseling them, so you have to be careful. And I mean that sincerely. And you can try a different part of it. Oh, really? And then, why is that? And, oh, really? Oh, why is that? Oh, really? Why is that? You know, and try that. I mean that. But I'll tell you what, listening. And then the last thing I want to say about this book is that the reason that we don't secure any more improvement when we do from reading a book is we never get right down to brass tacks and consider how techniques and principles and methods we can use can be applied directly to our life situation. And one of the things I like about this book is in the back, it asks you, what's one of the number one stumbling blocks that you identified in this book? And where did you find how to overcome that? And what are a couple things that you can do? And they do that for your personal life, for your work life, for your relational life. And I just highly recommend this. I don't have enough time. As a matter of fact, my time is just about over about this. But I'm going to tell you that this book is one of the most incredible books that you can read. And you literally will have a life-changing experience, especially if you'll take the time. I thought I was almost done with the book, but then a whole new world appeared when I had those questionnaires, because it literally walked me through things that I could apply in my life right now. And so this book becomes very, very real. And so I can't say enough about this book, How to Win Friends and Flint. You could be a public speaker too. How to Win Friends and I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Dale Carnegie. Center. Okay. I'm trying to be sensitive to the other speakers too. And I literally do have ADD, so the music is really messing with me a little bit here. But how to have confidence and power in dealing with people. Last big deal of this book. The principles from here are timeless. You can apply them today. You can apply them. And here's the other thing. These principles that come from the 1950s and the 1930s and some of the other things that are out there, they're not common anymore. It used to be common to be nice. It used to be common to listen. It used to be common. It's not common anymore. So if you'll apply these in your business life now, you will be head and shoulders above your peers. And one of the things that I wanted to leave you with is that there's an MIT professor, his name is Peter Senge, and he wrote The Fifth Discipline. He said, the only competitive advantage we have over our competitors out there is to outlearn them, and not necessarily in our ability to do our job. It's in our ability to work with other people. And so I really highly recommend this book. I do have some copies back there. It's $15.90 with tax in there. I'm not making any money off the book. I really do believe this is a book that's very needful for people, and I like to go around and make that book available as more as a convenience. And so I had the distinct pleasure of bringing up the next speaker. Pardon me? Are you talking? You're entitled to.
I haven't been listening.
I'm really thankful that that's powerful, and that there's a Supreme Court justice that said that's
Who is the Supreme Court justice?
I believe it.
Is it Thurgood Marshall?
No, this was in the 1950s. This Oliver Wendell Holmes.
Oh, that's long, way before. He was way before that.
Yeah, I know, but he's the one
they're
that said
quoting
this was-
him in the book.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
they quoted him.
So-
He's from the 20s,
Okay.
even
Well,
earlier.
see, and those principles are timeless. That's
Yeah.
one of the things. The practices are different, but the principles are always the same. And so I have the distinct privilege of bringing up the next speaker. This gentleman has the ability to help you get found on the internet, get found on Google. And I thought at first it was just search engine optimization, but he does so much more than search engine optimization, which is very needful. He does online video, he does consulting, he will help you. When people look for you, your name, your business, he can help you literally get found on the different search engines, and so it's my distinct pleasure to bring up Tracy Conte.
Tracy